OTAs have ended here at St. Thomas Sports Park. We are about to enter into the mini-camp portion of the off-season program. I'm Amie Wells, joined by Mike Keith and Jim Wyatt. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about the wide receivers. Some young guys in there that we're excited to see one last time in mini-camp. What are you hoping to see, Mike Keith?
Good reps for those guys. With the news coming out yesterday that Tajay Sharp is out after having foot surgery, some guys are going to get chances to play. They're going to get important reps. And, Jim, I think the carryover to me is that they get these reps in the mini camp, and maybe it gets them more ready to step in when training camp starts and jump in a little more headlong than they would have been able to.
That's very true. I mean, we've seen it here. We've seen it other places across the league. Sometimes teams won't even bring in other veteran players that they're looking at just because they want to give young guys a chance to work during the offseason to see what they have. They've gotten extended work here. I've been impressed with Taywan Taylor, as we all have, throughout these OTAs. He's been consistent. He's been on the field. He's been making plays. The good news is now Corey Davis is starting to do some of that. The handcuffs coming off him a little bit. Mike Mularkey said yesterday that really he shouldn't even be on the injury report next week when minicamp begins, and that's a definitely positive sign.
Another person that we're hoping to see a little bit more of as things progress is Marcus Mariota, number 8. Jim, where do you think he will be in minicamp, and what are you hoping to see in those 3 days?
Well, I don't think we're going to see a drastic change in what we've seen so far. I know Mike Mularkey said we've been patient with him to this point. Why change our approach now? So I think he'll continue to make progress during the mini camp, but I think training camp is what he's looking forward to. He says he's excited about it, expects to be 100% by the time training camp rolls around, and that's certainly good news for Titans fans.
Why take a chance? I mean, it has gone well. If you grade how Marcus Mariota did in OTAs, it's an A+, not only from his progress, but from the fact that he didn't have a setback. Get to July, get to August, start thinking about September the 10th. I know everybody wants to see more of him next week. We're all excited. But, man, let's get through next week, get him to training camp totally healthy.
Let's switch to the defensive side of the ball for a minute and talk about someone who's been impressive to me, Adoree Jackson. Mike, what have you seen out of Adoree that makes him someone that fans should be excited about?
He plays the ball. He's not playing the receiver. He plays the football. He is a corner that attacks the football, and you always get the idea that he's in the neighborhood. He's not just in the area code. He's in the neighborhood looking to make something happen. Titans haven't had that in a while. They didn't have enough interceptions last year. This guy and his athleticism shows up in everything he does.
He's a freak, kind of an athlete. Dick LeBeau said he's faster than fast. He's been as advertised during these OTAs, and it's going to be fun to watch.
I don't even know what faster than fast is, but it really sounds great, doesn't
like
it?
Anybody who is described as a freak athlete.
That's
something I'm into. Obviously, we've had a lot of fun on the field. Off the field, there's also been a lot of fun during these OTAs. A lot of community events, but also just guys having a good time. What has stood out to you, Mike, about those community events and seeing the Titans coming together as a team in doing some of those?
Seeing the high school coaches here. Last year they had, 120? And this year to see the Community Relations Department and Josh Corey puts us together, have 250 coaches. That community outreach is such a big deal to the organization, so that's exciting and fun. And then the baby shower and the players and the rest of the staff all getting involved. There's just a real good feeling about this organization. And to see Amy Adams-Strunk at both of those events, at practice all week, Jim, I think it adds to that sense of community that the Tennessee Titans have right now.
It does. It means a lot to these people. You know, talking to the high school coaches, I know you talked to them, and I know I chatted with some of them at the clinic, and they just talk about the team reaching out to them, inviting them into the building, letting them see how things are handled. It's neat to see Troy Fleming, a former Titan, back here who's a coach in Knoxville. So it means a lot to these high school coaches. I know I talked to Tina Tuggle, Director of Community Relations, talking about the Tighten Up for Tots event, and she said she ran across a family at the caravan. They were wearing one of the onesies that had been handed out, and they were thanking her and thanking the organization for giving them an opportunity. So touching people in the community and across the state in a lot of different ways.
And it's just one more opportunity to see this team of guys come together, build some chemistry, get to know each other a little better.
Well, when Coach Mularkey spoke to the high school coaches yesterday, he said, listen, we work really hard. We practice really hard, but we have a good time. And I think what Coach Mularkey has gotten across and what has carried over into everything is, look, this is how it's going to be. He lays it out there. There are no surprises. and the players can trust his word. And because of that, they don't complain about how hard they work, and then he incorporates that element of fun into everything. And to see his reaction during the baby shower while the different position groups were competing, that just sort of flows into everything they do. That was exactly the type of activity they like to take part in, is they got something going all the time, even though he expects them to be busting it no matter what.
One more week to get this team coming together before break. You guys excited?
Ready to go.
Yep.
All right, we're excited too. One more week, mini camp is coming up, and then the Titans take a break before training camp starts at the end of July. For TitansOnline.com, Mike Keith, Jim Wyatt, and I'm Amie Wells.